Testing 1, 2, 3.
Nope.
Oh. Testing 1, 2, 3. Yep. Let me show it from my screen because yeah, I think we're live. Let me just double check. There.
Well, it's not showing. It's not showing it for me. Whatever does it, I guess.
There. It should be in the Hangout screen.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, for whatever reason, I don't know why that didn't appear. So it must be unlisted, and maybe you can put it unlisted at this point.
Yeah.
Because
Maybe. Yeah. Maybe that's the case. I'm not entirely sure why it tends to act that way. But I think for now, I think the show is live at the moment.
hmm
There we go.
So
There we are. Well, welcome to the Chaos Insurgency podcast. I'm your host, Forbidden Thinker. We have the evil, glowing-eyed Teddy and Arkanu being a terrified child in the screen. All right, and since we're all new to this, let's see. Let's try and maybe play this. Just let me know if nobody can hear this.
What is up, my fellow MIG?
We're doing a small live response of basically this person online. He's basically come out with a video called 80% of men will be in MGTOW in 5 years, and I guess we're doing a live debunking of this because why not?
sounds like fun to me.
Yeah. Just again, shout at me if nobody can hear this.
MGTOW, Icarus here, and I want to talk to you guys today about something interesting, and that is why I believe that 80% of men will be MGTOW within 5 years.
And also, show me if you want to interject or stop.
I can't even see it for some reason. I can hear it, but I can't see it.
Alright, give me a sec.
Ah, okay. Make sure you remember, play for like every like 20 seconds or so, so that copyright stuff.
Alright,
So if one interject.
alright, I'm just trying to edit it. There we go. We're starting at 13 seconds. And
Sounds good.
And can you guys see it?
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
Years. Now, you may be thinking that's ridiculous. Hey, that's no way that's gonna happen. Some of you may be like, hey, hell yeah, more power to MGTOW.
I could barely hear this guy. Can you turn it up a
go
little
over
bit?
why I believe this. Okay, so
Can you hear him now?
while the biological
Yes.
imperative of man,
Yeah.
compels us to spread our seed among as many mates as possible, obviously it's the opposite for women, right? That's no surprise. or no secret.
What? No, wait.
Want me to repeat that?
No, wait. He says it's not women to spread their. I mean, I guess women don't really spread seed, quote unquote. But what makes them think that women don't want to, breed, have children, automatically? We're like what 38 seconds in, and it's already not making any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the thing about the whole case is that's just a biological factor he's trying to state, and already it doesn't make sense. But want to continue forward?
Yeah,
Great.
of course.
Their responsibility is to be the gatekeeper of genetics, choosing the best for the next generation. Now, it's why men hate women for being shallow in terms of looks, and women chastise men for only wanting sex. And, I personally don't find any issue with either of these things. people chase what they desire, and frankly, our brains are hardwired to do what they do. There's really not much you can do about it, but just sit back and observe.
Oh
However,
dear.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, but your brain is constantly reconfiguring its pathways. If you have a stroke, it'll try and readapt itself so it can use what it has to replace what's been lost. It's like if you go, like if for some reason you're blind, so your occipital lobe's not receiving any information to process, so it's going to be repurposed to do other things.
Yeah.
Alright.
He's going.
Nature of the two genders, as well as government intervention, is causing a rift between intergender relationships, and it's growing more sore by the day. Most men usually fall into one of four categories, alright? So there's A, the men who are tired of blatant female hypergamy and their sheepish groupthink, having experienced it firsthand. Those are usually the MGTOW men. And there's B, men who live and die by women just to have the chance to get a whiff of pussy. Those are the blue pillars.
Well, hello.
Yeah.
The chance of pussy? Oh, okay. Guess this guy never had sex, or if he did, it's probably by some fucking whore. Ugh. It almost sounds like he's projecting in some way.
It does.
And automatically, I can say there's more than four type of men out there. Like, what the fuck is he talking about?
Yeah, you cannot categorize and quantify something by its nature. It's by its nature, it's not categorizable and quantifiable that easily.
Alright. Now, I'm going to pause it here and just make sure I double check with, I'm going to double check one tiny detail to make sure everything's going alright. So, let me just pause the whole thing.
Oh. Oh, no. That makes sense now. Well, hey, assholes, if you could see us. We're talking about an idiot.
Yeah, we're talking about an idiot, so yeah. Let me see about... There you are. Wait. Ah, shoot. We gotta reset up everything.
You have C, the sexual...
There. Can you see it?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Alright. Good, and I think I said the public, so hopefully it'll work.
frustrated, which is why we're seeing the fascination and rise of incels. D, the men who have no problems at all with females, they just pump and dump and move on with their lives, right? Now, men in the first category are MGTOW and will give nothing to women. They won't pay for their meals, give them attention. Most don't even look their way. The blue-pilled men is where all the validation and self-esteem of women come from. And incels are just a byproduct of female hypergamy and are frustrated with their genetics. Now, the last category of men are the ones...
Hold on. This video is about how all 80% of men will be MGTOW in 5 years. What makes me think that an incel is going to become MGTOW? An incel is someone who is celibate on purpose. They're not going to go, oh, well, I'm going to go your way because I don't want to sex with women. I mean, celibate means not having sex. That means they're not gonna have sex with women, men, cars, whatever. It's just
Yeah, celibacy is not always an involuntary thing. Sometimes it's something that people choose for certain reasons.
on top of that. What makes you think that when they do stop being celibate, they're gonna go MGTOW? Like,
Yeah, and also women don't just get validation and esteem from men. They can also get it from other women.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, he's also acting like like there's no gay people in the world.
Oh yeah. Hey, I validated your idea because it was a good idea. You want to go to my place and you want me to give you one? Mm.
Damn.
Who will give up women last, but eventually they will follow suit with all the other men going MGTOW. Now, the MGTOW subreddit is already growing at a drastic rate. So are MGTOW related searches, as well as red pill thinking. People are waking up to female nature every day, and you see it in the YouTube comments. And while you may not think that's relevant, you gotta look at the demographic of YouTube.
The
Generation
MGTOW
X kids
subreddit.
There's a subreddit for MGTOW? What the
Yeah,
fuck?
it's a shithole.
It is.
Oh my god, there's a subreddit for everything now, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh,
there,
fuck.
there is, and believe me, if you go there, yeah, it's pretty cancerous, especially when they rant about female nature 24/7 there, and several
Okay,
other sites.
subreddit as its own is already cancerous. So this is like, what? Cancer that's been bloated or something. Like, I don't even know how
It
to...
metastasized. It's
Um,
cancer 2.0.
Oh my god. Alright,
primarily in
move
the
on, I
age range
guess.
of 9 to 17 years old, with 80% of them being male. They are constantly being exposed to red pill knowledge every single day, if not already witnessing it
Okay.
in real life. Alright?
Hold on a second, pause it.
Right?
First of all, 80% of them will be male. There's... Well, what do you think the 80% of them are going to be male?
Make
First of all, yeah, and second, red pill. Did you forget that MGTOW, red pill is not just for MGTOW? There's also the what you call it, the Alex Jones people. The
conspiracy
the
nuts.
yeah. There's the alt writers. I don't think the alt right would like saying that MGTOW is just for red pill. It's just for MGTOW. It's like, okay, you got this pill, anyone's allowed to use it, but you're saying that oh, these are just for. It's wow. It's almost selfish in a way.
Mm.
Yeah, they're all going to be fighting over a red pill. It's like, no, the red pill is ours. No, it's ours.
Nice.
Now, with the sexual liberation of girls, boys at a young age see female hypergamy in action, okay? They come home and watch YouTube videos, and then they realize that their anecdotal findings are the findings of millions of other boys their own age and older. And then there's the older folks, right? The generation of men and women who got married and birthed the boys of Generation Z. And the marriage rates of these marriages are at an all-time low. Divorce rates are the highest they've ever been. And the bridge between the two statistics just keeps getting wider by the day. Now see, it's not as simple as reading a post on a random forum and changing your belief system. Boys are taught the blue pill
I would say this. Going into an ideology, occultist, whatever you want to call it, it's not gonna make divorce rates better. Because after learning the kind of stuff that they learn, they're gonna think into their head, okay, there'll be some people like, okay, I can get married, I can ignore these people. But then there'll be some people who'll be like, I heard what this person said, uh, and that they already don't like the. They already think that they don't like the idea of marriage. That they already think marriage is a horrible thing. But then they hear this person, and they're already planning on maybe that they're going to get divorced. So they're already planning in their mind ahead, saying that that the marriage is going to be horrible, and so they're already putting it into motion that's how it's going to be. Uh, yeah.
And I like how he says, with the sexual liberation movement, hypergamy's gone all random. Did he forget about times in the past where women have married up to, say, royalty?
Mm-hmm. I guess.
And a lot of that was done for strategic reasons. Like, maybe royal families would have, this guy marry that woman, and it was all done to forge an alliance or whatever.
I don't think he was taught. He's not. You can say he's not woke enough.
Yeah. But ultimately, what would stop the divorce rates from going any higher is to teach people to stop being such neurotic little bitches.
Mm-hmm. Both men and women.
Alright. Let me just double check.
No. Oh, these are just for. It's just. That's fine.
There we go. And let's continue. Sorry about that, folks. Just trying to make sure everything's running.
Mindset from a young age, and they don't know any other reality, right? If you ever had a certain reality of yours challenged, you understand just how hard it is to accept a new one. Your consciousness holds onto it as hard as it can until eventually the new reality just has so much pent-up evidence, it's impossible not to switch with the new. Now, alright, I know you're thinking at this point.
Oh, wait. Can you see it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, alright. Just had to make sure that I wasn't. Anyways.
Okay, Icarus, let's say that the young generation does go MGTOW. How does that even remotely translate to 80% of men going their own way in 5 years?
Well, that's a good question. I'm hoping you can answer that for us.
Well, that's
You're the one
where
who said
the Me
this,
Too movement
Yeah,
and
and
the nice
if 80% of men do go MGTOW, then the 20% can basically they're basically free to have harems if they want.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that too. I mean, there are people in Islam who are gonna okay, women, I'm gonna fuck you. We're gonna give a whole lot of family members.
Allahu Akbar!
guy laughing
Oh, those
stock
guys
coming in.
just be crying like babies. Okay.
Had it not been for these two
Fucking
phenomena,
money.
I would have honestly predicted it to be within like 20 years or something that most men live the MGTOW lifestyle, but these two have just accelerated the growth at an unbelievable rate. Now, the red pillars who try to be pickup artists and seduce women can easily be accused of rape just by having drunk sex with a woman. Do you know how many drunk hookups occur on a nightly basis in America?
Hold on.
The Me
a
Too
second, I just
movement
thought of
is-
something.
Alright.
What makes you think that the pickup artists are? What makes you think the pickup artists are going to go MGTOW? Those people are just there just to have fun, maybe some of them, they're growing up, or maybe that's just their lifestyle.
That's
But whatever the case is,
yeah. That's really their lifestyle, and more or less, that's just their nature, and they're not likely to go MGTOW. Even hypothetically, even if, say, a certain percentage of men going their own way just suddenly started doing that, it's more likely that they'll keep on doing their lifestyle because they have more of a they have more access to more women since fewer men are dating them, so they're not likely to be MGTOW. By the way, just saying.
I don't know. Like, I can't imagine Charlie Sheen being a MGTOW. Like,
Mm-mm.
Me either.
It's shown that there is no statute of limitation on this, okay? If you had drunk sex with someone 22 years ago, that shit is going to haunt you for the rest of your life. Every single time you fucked or even made out with a bitch while you were drunk over the course of your life, those are all women that hold your fucking balls in their hand with one single call to a local police station.
And note that
no, I'd call that paranoia.
Don't get drunk and have sex with women at the same time?
and note
Or don't have sex with drunk women?
yeah,
I don't know.
And note that with someone like this person, he fails to understand that not all women are going to be like that way. That, and obviously there's a bit of accountability that the individual should have been. Oh, sorry. Teddy's doing his own thing, so we'll be back momentarily. Make it just in case if any guests are here, make sure to mute while you're doing your own thing. That way, nothing really gets picked up. But still, but I'm just saying that note that this person in particular doesn't realize that there's a certain accountability in life everybody has to go through. So it's telling me that he's missing out on the accountability part of the whole thing. So, want to continue or?
I think maybe we should continue.
All right. Just give it a second. There we go.
Now, therein lies the problem. Most pickup artists only approach women in bars or clubs because that's when they're most confident, when they have a couple of drinks in them, and that's when women who have a couple of drinks in them are most open to being approached. Now, this has just been completely taken away from them, so approaching them is going to be cut down by
and the problem is that bars and nightclubs don't exactly attract people of high quality character. They don't attract very savory individuals.
Yeah.
95%, if not completely. Now, at some point, as dumb as they could possibly be, not saying that pickup artists are dumb, but, you know, the ones who don't give a fuck about anything but pussy, vagina, and having sex, you know, the ones who just who do nothing but think with their dick, they're going to be fucked, alright? They're going to realize at some point...
Sorry, I was just talking to my sister.
That's okay.
That's alright. Me and Arkanu are just listening more into the video.
So what is this idiot saying now?
Give me a sec. I'll unpause it.
Worth it. The risk is too fucking big, man. Potentially 20 years in prison for acting out a natural instinct? Hey, no way, Jose. Screw that shit. The blue pill men, the beta cucks, the test...
I just want to say, yeah, well, you know, all the stuff that's, you know, sending men in jail, that is really, really horrible. That's not necessarily going to make someone MGTOW. In fact, there are some people who will take risks even more and continue, they'll do the whole gambler's fallacy and just hope it doesn't happen again.
Yeah, just one more time.
Maybe next time I put my dick in crazy and she won't, like, arrest me, you know? So,
deficient.
I mean,
the soy...
for fuck's sake, we got Steve Shives, who keeps getting beat by, well, I don't know if she gets beat by his wife, but pretty sure.
Boys, you know, you could go on about the list of hilarious names. At some point, they'll realize they're a laughing stock of both men and women. Now, these are the guys that care almost as much as women of what other people think of them. This is the easiest crowd that will be pushed to MGTOW because they don't want to be called a beta orbiter or a nice guy, which, by the way, I promise you, in less than 2 years, a nice guy will be the most degrading term for a man. The blue pill way of thinking isn't meant to
nice
stand...
guy, does that mean we're supposed to be assholes? No,
I
I wonder everyone's saying, men are jerks these days.
I
I
honestly
mean,
don't. Go ahead.
we're institutionalizing rudeness and uncouth behavior.
That may be
I
the case.
honestly don't care if we're nice. If you want to call me a nice guy, call me an asshole. I don't give a shit. Excuse me. Um. Yeah. People.
I may
This is just insane.
I may have to pause and mute for a sec because I'll be right back because a neighbor's about to be in my door, so give me a sec.
Oh, okay.
But it's just. Oh, this guy is just. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Like, it's almost like he wants men to be MGTOW in 5 years.
Yeah. Uh, our ideology is about it's about voluntarism. It's about making decisions for ourselves. Now, join us or else we'll call you a blue-pilled mangina simp.
Personally, I don't give a fuck if I get called that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We get called everything by feminists. We'll get called everything by you. We're not really scared about that.
Yeah, and okay, if it's a good idea, it doesn't require you to simply spread it around or to browbeat people into accepting it, because good ideas attract people naturally.
Yeah.
Yeah, they came here for self ownership and making their own decisions. They didn't come here to shame people and poke fun at women.
Right. Obviously, there's some, who do poke fun at women, and vice versa, but that's what we call assholes. Pieces of shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's the golden rule: do unto others as you would have them do unto you. So if you don't want people to be assholes, don't be an asshole. I mean, you're always going to get that one person who's simply an asshole, but you just ignore them because they're morons.
And sometimes, once in a while, it's good to have fun with morons, like especially like someone like this. But if you keep doing it, especially when someone's just trying to get you to be annoyed, it's only gonna make things worse because it just
Yeah.
it seems like this should have been another test stream because this is stuff that we should have been testing out, but.
There you go. Yeah, and I think we're back for the most part. We're just going to end the hangout as soon as this guy's done talking, and but yeah, this should be considered just a test stream because we still haven't established a good time to do this without, well, life interference. But let's get going.
Yeah, to be honest, we need all of us. This is good, but some things happen. So to pick us, that would be just great. Anyway, let's just finish off with
the test
this.
of
Maybe we
time
could
in
end it there,
any
I guess.
regard. When a
One more.
Can you see this guy? Can you hear this thing or see him?
when a regular man realizes that
Okay,
a certain
I can't.
sexual
Okay, yeah, there we
Yes.
go.
strategy isn't working, it's only a matter of time before he will eventually try something else. Realizing his blue pill nature, he will more than likely try and flip the script the opposite way and become a red pill asshole, because after all, women like assholes, right? Right?
No.
I mean,
No. I hate assholes.
Okay, he said women like assholes. Oh, some women like assholes, and
The ones with very poor judgment.
and I like some assholes that are funny, like Forbidden, Arcanu, like I like you guys. You guys are assholes, but you're funny assholes, and you're not like mean. But I don't like assholes who are like, oh, I'm a fucking tough guy, whatever. And the same
Yeah.
goes for bitches too, for women. It's just, and women just like assholes because these guys are just too fucking weak. And then, and they're what do you call that? What do you call a person who's just petty? Yeah, you're petty, and you're a slut. If you don't want, not all women are like petty sluts, though.
honestly, and just like all the other red pill men, they'll realize that this approach isn't what they were looking for after all. Incels are an interesting case. While many think that they're just a blowjob away from being a slave to women, most of them are surprisingly red pill and unbelievably self-aware. Like, if a woman becomes interested in them, like, out of nowhere, they know it's for an ulterior motive aside from their looks, and they know it'll be too good to be true. Like, there's no way this bitch is just falling in love with me out of nowhere. This hasn't happened my whole life. There's no way this is happening now, right? And at some point, many of them will go MGTOW because subconsciously the constant rejection from women and society because of lookism will be too painful to handle.
And again, that's an assumption right there, assuming the future when it's not really written, though, obviously.
Is this guy projection? Because this feels like major projection to me. Like this
I don't know. I think he stole my TARDIS.
Damn.
See, this is why they can't have nice things. They go stealing people's TARDISes.
Don't steal the fucking TARDIS. Don't steal people's time machines. Just don't do it. It's bad.
They'll harden their heart and their brain and say, fuck everyone. Incels, MGTOW, blue pillars, red pillars, these guys make a majority of the male population, whether they all identify in one group or the other or not. Now, the way the political climate stands, the nature of women today, most men with an IQ beyond 95 will see MGTOW as the only real option.
Of course, he says the only option, but I doubt that being... By then, I'm pretty sure either there's going to be a new ideology around that point, plus, not to mention, like, what's wrong with the idea of just having a normal dude just going about his life with no ideology? What's wrong with that?
Yeah, I agree. Nothing wrong if a man want to just be a man, be a bitch, or you want to have sex with women, whatever. Do you? You want to have sex with women, man? But it doesn't mean you're gonna go MGTOW. Just be careful. Know what you're doing. Oh yeah, and by the way, 5 years from now, you're a major projector.
Yeah, humans are gonna human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows what happens in the future? 80% of MGTOW turns into feminist. There's always that possibility. I think this guy is neglecting, which I doubt it, but still, that's another possibility.
with with advanced sex dolls and like neural connected virtual reality on the horizon, the spreading of this lifestyle couldn't have come at a more convenient time. It'll be interesting to see how things play out when women hit the wall and realize nobody is after them or gives a fuck about them. All right, this is gonna be a fun one, guys.
Hold on.
Stay.
This guy brought on virtual reality, and all this shit. Women do that shit too. Women play video games. Women do virtual reality. You're never gonna not escape women, unless you go to outer space and you want to live by yourself with your sex toy. Maybe invite TFM, or then But you're never gonna escape women. Even if you try to create some kind of artificial womb, it's not gonna work.
Yeah, because
Yeah, because where are you going to get the genetic material for the child, even if you do develop an artificial womb?
yeah,
Humans reproduce exclusively through sexual reproduction.
yeah,
It means genetic material from two different individuals is required.
yeah, and you still need a female to achieve that goal. So you never really can get away with that. And if you try and do cloning process, well, you kind of run into the issue of genetic. What's that term where you clone so many times and the DNA starts destroying or decaying?
Well, it's some kind of a genetic degradation. I don't know what it's called specifically, but it happens. I guess it also can happen with telomeres, which is part of senility, aging, because the telomeres get shorter every time a cell replicates.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'd imagine they would be trying to advocate for cloning the preset stuff that they'd collect, but at some point you need to get more because eventually the genetic material itself wouldn't be existent after so many times. But I think that's actually it for the video. I do thank you for showing up, and this is sort of a
I love doing that.
this is sort of a test little stream, and let us know what you think, and also let us know if the audio is good. And take care. And this is episode 1, and maybe in the future we'll start doing more episodes of these. So later, all.
Next time I'm gonna rape you in the butthole.